Good morning and welcome to our third training for India Giving Day 2025. Today we are going to talk a little bit about the nonprofit toolkit, the Canva templates that we have provided on our website for participating nonprofits, and also about the events resource guide that we have on our website. I'll screen share and take you through a presentation as well as our website and the menu where you can find these toolkits. When you go to our website and you click on the right-hand side on the menu, you can find the nonprofit toolkit right here. The first part is the registration, training sessions, and key dates, which you've already registered, so you can go on to the next steps. And this is the pages that we will be taking you through today. Moving on to the presentation. The peer-to-peer fundraising is one of the best sources for getting new donors for nonprofits, and we really recommend that all organizations really have a very strong peer-to-peer fundraising campaign for India Giving Day 2025. We are also putting a lot of focus on this for nonprofits this year, and we've created a lot of new resources which you can find on our website. You will also find blog posts, etc., by our Deputy Director of the campaign, Peg Fure, looking at the peer-to-peer fundraiser page. This gives you a brief description about a P2P fundraiser, who are your potential fundraisers, and your potential fundraisers can be your board members, they can be volunteers, dedicated supporters, your family and friends. Any and all of your donors who are really involved with your organization can be a potential P2P fundraiser for you. We will cover some of these details in our training on Jan 23rd, but in the meanwhile, do go over the website and take a look at this page. When you scroll to the bottom, you will find some articles which I've mentioned just now. You will also find peer-to-peer fundraising templates that you can use. Going back to the page, nonprofit toolkit page, the next thing that we're going to talk about today is the communication guide. You'll find a very comprehensive communication guide on our website, and this has been prepared by Bonterra, and it's really a very comprehensive guide which not just provides you with the communication plan, but also your overall strategy for a Giving Day. I'll share the guide with you. So as you can see, it provides you with a 12-week timeline, and scrolling below, I've highlighted some of the things which are really interesting and which nonprofits can, do when preparing the India Giving Day campaign. For example, you can plan a Giving Day kickoff meeting with your staff, determine roles and responsibilities, brainstorm fundraising goals, unique ideas to reach those goals, and how to include the Giving Day within your annual fundraising. And this is something that we recommend that you do on an ongoing basis with your staff. It's really important to get them to be part of your whole planning process. Another thing that you could do is have a meeting with your board members and talk to them about what India Giving Day is and get them to be a part of your campaign and support you in fundraising as well. So as you see, this guide provides you with what you might do 10 weeks before, 9 weeks before. One of the other interesting ideas is emailing volunteers, announcing your participation in a giving day and letting them know how they can get involved. Determining a list of supporters you want to ask to be peer-to-peer fundraisers. So this is really important. If you want a good fundraising campaign, you need to reach out to your supporters, your board members, and others ahead of time and make it a part of your overall campaign plan. Another example is begin planning a P2P fundraising kickoff party. Get the enthusiasm going, get your fundraisers energized about the campaign. You could even have a virtual party. Send an email to board members seeking their support for donations or as peer-to-peer fundraisers. Get them involved in peer-to-peer fundraising. If they have children, school-going children or college-going children, perhaps they can reach out to the kids and get them involved in the P2P fundraising as well. Send a save the date to past donors to let them know you're participating in a giving day. And this is something we spoke about in the last training also. If you have donors who've given during IGD 2024, or if you have donors who might have given in the winter, might have given at year end in 2024, send them an email telling them to save the date and just prepping them up for the upcoming campaign. Check in with your team to see how things are going. Begin sharing stories about your organization from the perspective of donors, volunteers, staff, and benefactors. And you'll see that a lot of this is something that you'll have to prep beforehand and not leave it to the last minute. Ask your volunteers to update their social media profiles. And then 2 weeks before, which in our case would be when giving begins on March 1st, send out an email, do social media posts announcing early giving and asking your supporters, encouraging them to reach out to their networks, family, and friends to participate in early giving. And then you have India Giving Day, the day before India Giving Day. So you might want to make a test donation to ensure all messaging is accurate. And you might want to send out an email saying tomorrow's the big day, email reminding donors how they can participate, how they can give, and also reminding your board that IGD is tomorrow. If you have peer-to-peer fundraisers, then you might want to reach out to them and remind them what their role is. And call and send personal emails to key supporters. Then the guide also provides you with the examples of emails that you can send out on the big day, India Giving Day itself. And what you might want to send out 6 hours before, and perhaps engage with some of your volunteers and supporters. So as you see, it's really a very, very comprehensive guide. And while not all of this would be applicable to you or your organization, you might want to pick and choose what really is and customize it for your campaign. It also provides you with stewardship guidelines after the campaign is over. And I want to emphasize again that stewardship is a big, big component of any giving day, and of you want to make sure that you're reaching out after the campaign and reaching out to all your volunteers, your board members, your supporters, P2P fundraisers, your donors, and thanking them for the role they have played in making your India Giving Day a success. And you also might want to share a few of the highlights of what the campaign achieved. If you achieved your goals, if you increased your social media following and had an excellent turnout in your peer-to-peer fundraising, you want to mention all of the those achievements to keep your base enthused, and also to thank them and show them that their efforts were very, very productive. So that's the communication guide. Moving on, I want to talk a little bit about board support. So, as you see, organizations with engaged board members raise approximately 2 to 3 times more than those that don't involve their board in the planning process. So board engagement is really an important part of your fundraising process. And we really want to emphasize upon engaging your board members for India Giving Day. Our website has many resources that you can use. We have phone scripts for board members. You can utilize P2P fundraiser resources for board members. There are storytelling templates that your board members can use. And um, your board members can help in multiple ways. You know, they can leverage their connections in the community to solicit financial partnerships or donations. They can invite peer-to-peer fundraisers from their family or from their immediate networks, and perhaps even their colleagues. They could host a special event for your organization for India Giving Day, raising awareness or asking for funds. And if they have given in December, then and you don't want to reach out to them for funds again in March, they could perhaps do an awareness campaign or an event or a personal outreach to other donors in a in a way to contribute to your campaign. So keep your board members updated, and take a look at our resources for building board support. Here we talk about 10 steps to board success. We talk about resources that you can utilize for your board members. There's an India Giving Day kickoff guide, a sample newsletter template, sample board member responsibilities. And we also have videos with on-demand training videos for board members that you can look at. You will have to add your email ID in order to view these videos, but they are excellent resources. And finally, there's a storytelling template, social media guide and sample posts, suggested email templates, and some of these have been customized for board members, and downloadable graphics, which you can also find on in our on our main page. Moving on, I want to now talk about spreading the word for the campaign, and this really includes social media tips and tricks, sample email content, and graphics and downloads. Let's first look at the graphics and downloads that we have on our website. When you get to the graphics and downloads page, you will see on the top that we have customizable social media posts on Canva. And all you have to, I'll go over these later in detail, but all you have to do is add your own logo and messaging and images. And there's an excellent resources here on Canva that you can utilize. This page has the logos that you can use, social backgrounds, a Zoom background, social shares, and printables as well. We also have a template for a brochure for an event or gathering, which again you can customize for your own purpose. So with graphics and downloads, we've provided you with a lot of resources, and all you have to do is just add your own messaging, your own logo in addition to the IGD logo. And moving on, when you click the social media tips and tricks, we've provided here sample social media posts for both Twitter and Facebook. And these you can easily customize for the purpose of your campaign, as well as Facebook tips. You want to make sure that when you you like the India Giving Day page, so this will allow you to get updates, important information and tips for India Giving Day, as well as link to other participating organizations from your organization's page. We also have Twitter tips again. Do follow India Giving Day Twitter account so that you get our updates regularly. Similarly, we have Instagram tips, and we would recommend that do connect your Facebook and Instagram accounts so that you're able to automatically post from one to the other. And this will also allow you to reach a wider audience. So take some time and go through this social media page. We also have a social media strategies training video that can be very useful when you're preparing a social media strategy. And the social media tips and tricks contain sample posts for leading up to India Giving Day, for the day of India Giving Day, as well as thank yous for post-campaign thank yous. Moving on to the sample email content. Here we have a variety of sample emails that you can utilize, including email content for the countdown to March 14th and India Giving Day, content for the day of, that is March 14th, as well as a post campaign, a campaign for a thank you template over here. And when you scroll below, you see the communication guide, as well as other major milestones for the campaign and resources on this page. Moving on to the next section, giving thanks. And this is one of the most important parts of the campaign. It's so difficult to get new donors, and you want to make sure that you express your gratitude towards your existing current donors, as well as those who have helped you throughout the campaign. And this includes your board members, your volunteers, those who have done peer-to-peer fundraising for your organization. And we are providing you with the stewardship email templates. Let me move on to the next slide. A lot of this has been, the content has already been covered in the last in Spread the Word. So I will just look at the stewardship tips. So for stewardship, one of the things we really recommend is create your plan before India Giving Day, involve your board. You could take their support for reaching out to some of the big donors. For example, if there are any major donors who have contributed during early giving and India Giving Day, have your board perhaps give them a call and express a very, very personal thank you. Send out thank you cards, consider a post-event thank you calls. So you want to make sure that you're expressing gratitude, not just to your donors, but also those who've really been supportive and spread the word about your campaign. Now I want to talk about using the India Giving Day Canva template. And that's, as I mentioned, when you scroll down to the graphics and downloads on the Nonprofit Toolkit page and click over here, you have the Canva templates right here. For some reason, my website link wasn't working, so I'm using the PPT link. And that could just be my computer right now. So here you are. What you want to do is use template for new design. Click over here. And as you can see on the left-hand side, you have the menu. And I'm going to click on uploads. I have uploaded the India Giving Day logo as well as a picture. And it's super easy. You can upload files from your computer. If you click on this upload files text, and I'm going to just drag this picture to the first template. And there it is. I can add my organization name over here. Drag it. And if I want to change the font, I click here. That reduces it. And this is where I drag it from. If I want to add a new text box, I go to text. Again, this is on the left-hand side of the menu. And click on add a text box. And here it is. I drag it over here where there's some white space. And I can add text. So the next step would be downloading this customized post. So I go to share and click on download. The suggested format is PNG, but if you click here, you can see that PDF standard is good for emailing, PDF print is best for printing. So select what works for you and go back to download. And you can download it from here by clicking over here. So this is really, really easy and intuitive. And we have a number of templates here that you can use during the course of India Giving Day. Going back to our nonprofit toolkit page. So just to again remind you that this is available on the graphics and downloads page on a nonprofit toolkit page of the website. We had an intern prepare a really good guide on India Giving Day Canva graphic usage. So I'm just going to quickly take you through some of those slides. And I will be uploading all of these on G Drive and sharing the link so you can go over this presentation. So the first page talks more about typography principles, using not more than 2 to 3 font types, font pairing, maintaining readability and consistent sizing. The next one talks about color design principles, just sticking to 3 to 5 colors that align with your brand and using contrasting colors as well as accent colors. Really important to use high quality visuals and make sure your alignment is correct. Images, text, and all are properly aligned, and it's super easy on Canva. One really important thing is use a lot of white space, don't overcrowd. That really helps your messaging to stand out as well as, puts your design and text in focus. Then there are tips about content layout as well as branding elements. So that's our Canva training, and I want to now start talk a little bit about the nonprofit events resource toolkit. So going back to our menu, if you click on community events, resources and toolkit, that's where you will find the event resource toolkit. So last year, we had organizations, we had more than 40 events, including virtual, in-person events. And this was a huge big way of building awareness for India Giving Day campaign, and for just getting more support, building more visibility amongst supporters as well. This year, we are expecting more than 60 events to be held nationwide in celebration of India Giving Day 2025. And our toolkit gives a lot of resources and tips and tricks for organizing events. So one of the things, when you are on this toolkit, you'll see participation guidelines. And one of the things that we really want organizations to consider when organizing an event is, please do not invoke any religious or politics inappropriately or criticize any nonprofit organization. We want this to be a campaign of inclusivity, positivity, and supporting each other. So make sure that it's a very positive event. Also, share photos and summaries of your events with us, and we will use them when we do post-campaign reporting and awareness sharing. If you are organizing a public event, then do share that information with us, and we'll put it on our website. As you scroll below, you will find some guidance about best timings for hosting events. We recommend that the best timing is during the early giving to India Giving Day period, that's March 1 and 14th. And this offers the greatest opportunity for participation, as well as ensures that you are using events to energize your base and create a lot of enthusiasm amongst them. However, we also understand, sometimes it's not possible to host an event during the ideal time period. So you can host an event anytime during Feb or March, and that would be eligible for the event grants that we are offering. And I will, later on take you a little bit through the event grants process also. So in the resource toolkit over here, you see that we have various appendices listed over here. And I really recommend you're going through these. Again, this resource toolkit. The appendix 1 talks about event policies. We've already spoken a little bit about it. Please don't invoke religion or politics. Make the event very inclusive and positive. If you're using India Giving Day brand and logo, then please do it respectfully. And events don't need to be on March 14th, but it's recommended they are between March 1st to 14th. Going back, Appendix 2 has lists activities that can be undertaken by individuals or groups for IGD events. So here's a list of activities that individuals can do. For example, if someone is not able to donate, but they do have time to give to your efforts, then perhaps they can carry out an email campaign. There's this really outstanding example of a campaign in Miami where one volunteer who took part for the India Giving Day in Miami wrote 6,000 emails. Most of them were same, but he was able to customize a few by adding a few personal note at the top to each. So, there are a lot of different ways that your supporters and donors can, organize activities. And this resource guide gives you a few ideas for that. These are activities that can be undertaken by individuals. When you scroll below, there are suggestions for activities that can be undertaken by groups, including enrichment events, cultural and food themed events, and fun activities as well. If you decide to get together a group where there's a panel discussion or people are talking about philanthropy or why they should give, we have a lot of resources, including articles on philanthropy, which we have in Appendix 4. So these are pieces of thought leadership, resources regarding Indian American philanthropy, as well as award-winning essays by Indian American youth. Going back, here's Appendix 3, and this is a list of videos that can be shown at India Giving Day related events in person and online. We've also provided you a snapshot of events that were held last year. And if you look at the PowerPoint, you'll see examples of events, and you'll see that it's not just organizations which are hosting events. We also have an event hosted by a board member, by a high school student, by volunteers and college students. So anyone can hold an event and reach out to your supporters ahead of time so that they're able to think about what kind of event they can hold or host, and help them in that brainstorming thinking process. So that's the end of our training today. As I mentioned, we have been through the nonprofit toolkit, the Canva templates, and the toolkit for community events in today's training. Before we end the call, I just want to take you through the events call for proposals also. When you click over here, you see our call for proposal for holding community events, which can be either virtual or in person. The deadline for application is February 20th, and we are giving grants on an ongoing basis. So do make sure that you apply as soon as possible. You can submit your proposal here. And we've already discussed what's the ideal time for holding an event. And when you scroll to the bottom, the tools and ideas resource kit is right over here. And this is also, you can also access it directly through the menu in community events, resources, and toolkit. So that's the end of our training today. And I want to thank all of you for being here with us today. I also want to mention that next week, We have the training for peer-to-peer fundraising on Jan 23rd, and I hope all of you can attend. Really looking forward, and thank you so much for your participation in India Giving Day.